Well, Dan wanted to intro this one.
Yeah,
So.
Dan wanted to intro this one.
All
So
right.
what do we just finish watching?
Let me get back to the.
God
You
damn.
I
close
already
that
fucking
one.
lost the name.
No one's gonna
So,
follow you for not knowing it.
Yeah, it's fine.
The show is my best pronunciation. Dororon Enma-kun.
I think you had a couple too many rows.
I think
in that, but-
yeah, and I think you said Mon, like Digimon. It's Dororo, ro.
Well, you can
Enma-kun.
see the
Dororon Enma-kun.
You can see it in the
Dororon
title.
Enma-kun.
Yeah, whatever. It's close enough.
So this is interesting. It's that by far the oldest thing that we've watched. By far the most interesting, I think.
Came out in
Yeah,
1973. It's almost as old as my mother.
Older
Yeah.
than me, for sure.
Yeah.
Older,
Oh,
older
yeah,
than
so
All
about
of us.
20 years older than all of us. So
So who wants to start on this one?
I do
I'll
not. I was
start.
to see.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so my favorite thing about this was actually the sound design. There's a lot of really cool like saxophone riffs, and like the sound effects they did were, well, not very probably accurate or professional anymore. I thought they sounded really cool. Like
Yeah.
I
they got me
feel-
really into the
Yeah.
show.
I feel like to bounce off of that, like immediately, like just in animation, since it's such an old show, they've probably relied a lot more on just sound effects and crazy shit like that, just because there was a lack of actual
to add a lot of like
animation. Yeah.
kind of
There was.
life to it. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with you in that sense.
Like yeah.
You
the sound
said
design was
you said it
awesome.
felt very Looney Tunes.
Yeah, like
Especially at the beginning or so.
and I think that's just something
Until
with the
mouth
timing.
was crushed.
The timing of it. But the funny thing about it is like not that it has anything to do with the anime we just watched, but Japan is known for anime being so fucking over the top. I feel like it's the roles have reversed because like it seemed like an American, Warner Brothers making Looney Tunes, it seemed like we were a lot better at
And 2D animation
animating back
2D
then.
animation here is like just gone. Like, it just doesn't even
Mhm.
exist.
Yeah, like no one freaking does it anymore. Whereas like it's Japan's thing, but like it seemed like the roles were reversed back then. Like
Yeah.
America was really good, like Disney and Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
really
we're
kicked
kind of
butt
we're
then.
kind of digressing a little bit, but
Mhm.
so Dan,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah,
and get back
sorry.
to
All
it.
right. So my bad thing would definitely be what we kind of feared at the start would be the pacing. It was pretty slow. But it was still alright. It wasn't like the worst. Like I thought overall pretty good, but pacing was kind of slow.
Yeah, and I was saying before we actually started, like it's from the 70s. It's probably going to be not
A little
quite
slower.
as it's
Yeah.
probably going to be a little slower, which I think is fine. I really don't have much of a problem
Yeah,
with
but
that
I
most
do
of the
think
time.
for me that was like the worst part about it was
Yeah,
how slow
that's
it
fair.
was.
To me,
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
I
that
don't
just says
mind
how
slow
good everything
pacing,
else
but
is.
like that's not for that show. It didn't really get me into it because it was
Yeah.
all right. Who's next?
I guess. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
if you know what you want to say.
honestly, I liked a lot about this show. It's definitely my favorite thing we've watched so far.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yes,
for
I
sure.
can agree.
100%.
I can agree.
To me, I kept thinking that this feels like if Courage the Cowardly Dog was like an anime in the 70s, it would be
Yeah,
like this.
dude,
Because
totally.
it's a kid's show, but it's also really creepy
Oh,
and
yeah.
also
dark, yeah.
like fucking hilarious at times.
Yeah.
It's very like kind of contradicting itself almost.
Mhm.
But
It's got that- yeah.
like a couple of those monster designs are like really
Yeah.
like the
Oh my
weird like
God.
Kool-Aid man with the snakes coming out of his head. Like
Yeah,
what
it was
the
very
fuck is
dark.
that?
It's like this is a cartoon for
It was
like
dark and
7,
creepy
8-year-olds.
humor. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Courage, it has a very similar. You're right. Courage is the perfect comparison. Like, has dark and creepy shit in it, but it's still supposed to be kind of funny. So yeah.
Mhm.
And I liked all the characters. I like I think it being in the 70s makes the audio a lot funnier just because I love when
Yeah.
every time someone yells it's just horribly blown out.
Yeah.
It just made it so much funnier. And was just like running through the tunnels like screaming. It's like "Wah!"
It's like Jesus Christ, it's a tunnel. You don't have to shout so loud.
Yeah.
And-
oh man,
and-
that's amazing.
Unlike the last two shows we watched, like I can actually follow what's going on in the show, and it's not trying to throw so much at us at once.
You're fucking like taking like 20 things.
You are taking all the
Sorry,
good things.
I liked a lot
I'll
about
just
it.
jump in right now and say that was my favorite part about it, was that I was able to actually follow what was going on from beginning to end with no problem. And I don't know if that's like actually something I should be proud of, or if it's because it does seem like it vibes like this was made for like a 7 to 10-year-old range, so obviously you would hope so, whereas like somehow most of the other ones we've been watching seem like they're made for older audiences. But I like easily my favorite thing was I watched this episode, it had a beginning, it had an end, I was happy with it. But anyway, what was your bad thing before I say mine?
Was a bad thing. I'm having a little trouble, honestly. Like a truly bad thing. I mean, I kind of like the slower pace of the whole thing, even.
I personally didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it worked out all right. I don't understand what the fuck the rat getting crushed was all about. That was kind of unnecessary. I don't know, Jordan. Do you have any? What do you have? What do you have for bad?
I mean, now that you say it and it like, and you think about it, it's just like, yeah, it's hard to come up with something
nothing's really explicitly bad about it.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah.
I would say like if I had to pick something that I didn't like, it was that like they didn't give the turtle enough dialogue.
The kappa, it's a kappa.
It's a kappa, yo. I'm sorry. Kappa. It's half kappa. I gotta fucking watch more Dragon Ball, because I think
I don't know what a kappa is.
I think that
other than the Twitch,
what's his face from
which you should put
Dragon Ball is half kappa as well. Master Roshi. That's why he's always in a shell. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything inherently bad about this. But
I don't know what none of us know what the fuck that kid was doing in that school.
Yeah, that I feel like that was just like, how there's always a bad plot to get like a main character or like a side character introduced.
It's like if this
really
wasn't happening,
way of doing that.
If this wasn't happening, what would
there was
happen?
No point. But I was gonna say one thing before we digress. I was gonna say, like, as we're sitting here looking at this, right next to it on like the site we're watching these on, there's what looks to be a more modern version of this show, like something that came out in the 2000s.
Well, yeah, so we spun the wheel and came up with was it Dororon
Enma-kun,
which,
no, that one's right here. Yeah, that is the one right next to it.
Oh, that's what we originally rolled, but we just ended up watching this one instead. Which,
it is right to the right. It's
yeah. But guess what? Funny story is they're both rated roughly the same, so who cares?
No, I'm fine. I'm totally glad we watched this one.
Mm-hmm. I think this one has more charm.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to load it up for like 5 seconds just to see the difference.
In the end, I would say that I would watch another episode.
Totally, 100%.
Because,
yeah, no, I definitely watch it. I guess the only thing I'd be worried about is it's obviously a kids show. It might get too like it seems like a 8-year-old show. It might be too like,
I don't know. It seems like it's got like adult like themes like.
Yeah, but you have to think like back to that era
I would watch
too,
it.
like,
No, you're right. I would definitely watch the next episode.
I just think a lot of cartoons back then had more of an adult tone to them anyway. I mean, like Tom and Jerry were literally shooting each other with guns.
Just drinking booze all the time.
And drinking booze and shit. Like, I think that's just inherently like what cartoons used to be. And they've just gotten more and more, dumbed down and, less appealing to those actual real life things. So that being said, I think we would all watch another episode of this.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
We finally did it. We finally agreed on something
find a show that we'd watch again.
Mm-hmm. The sad part is there's episode 1, episode 2, episode 5, episode 10.
We might be able to find it somewhere else.
And episode 15.
I imagine it exists somewhere. Oh yeah, we also watched a fan sub.
We did watch a fan sub.
There's a part where Enma calls the other lady a bitch, and it was like,
and then there's also a part where she's just like, "Oh, I'm getting so naked, I'd pee my pants" or something like that. Like said. What? That's not what she said. But like,
so
it was like, "I'm getting so angry, I could pee my pants." It's like, yeah, some of the sub kind of ruined it in
Oh,
some
God.
ways, but other ways it.
Well, I mean, that, I
kinda
don't
made
think
it
it really has
funny,
anything to
so.
do with the show itself.
Right.
Just
No,
how we
but
watched
like
it.
when we can't understand anything but what the sub says, it kind of does.
So
It does influence that.
I wanted to watch like 30 seconds to the new one. Do not watch it. It was the version we watched is way better.
Okay.
No.
So watch
Good
the
to know.
70s.
Watch the 70s.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
there's already like a naked chick pretty much.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Just keep it
All
in
right.
the 70s.